here. This is Northwest Tarot. Whether you're joining me live or watching the replay later, I truly appreciate you spending this time with me. Tonight we're exploring a question that many people wonder about after a relationship changes or comes to an end. And do they regret losing you? Are they regretting it? So that's a very powerful emotion right there, regret, because it often doesn't appear right away. After there's an ending, doesn't appear right away. Sometimes people don't fully understand what they had until there's changes or life changes, or so basically they become, either they become too busy, distracted, or maybe they even convince themselves that they made the right decision, right? If there was an ending. So then as time passes, they begin to reflect on the relationship, the memories, and the person, or, they shared this with. So that doesn't automatically mean that they'll come back, but it does make us wonder, right? What they're truly feeling beneath the surface. So we're going to go ahead and dive into this. This is always a collective reading, so take what resonates with you. And every connection is unique, and free will always play an important role in the choices people make. So take a moment to think about the person, okay? Have them in your mind, picture them for a moment. Think about the connection you shared, and let's see what the cards have to reveal. Thank you, universe. Who needs to hear this message today? Let's go ahead and pull a card. So, to our first question, is the person feeling regret at all? With the Ace of Swords, when there's a separation, we usually think about it. We come to a realization, a hard truth of what's happening in the separation, or what happened in the relationship, trying to understand what went wrong. And usually it happens after a breakup. We don't know, did we make the right choice? Was there something more I could have done? Or also, a hard truth could have come out that made the relationship end. Okay? Did I make a mistake? Was I in the wrong if they were in the wrong? So there's a lot of questions that come through for a person based on what's happened, and needing clarity, needing that clarity. So I feel like if this resonates, loves, someone is thinking, did I make the right decision? Suddenly, sometimes separation can make a person think differently. Thank you. Sending positive energy your way. Well, thank you. Likewise. So, right? Sometimes it takes a bit of a distance to understand what's happened. And usually distance can make someone understand and see things differently from a different light. So, and take a moment to reflect on what the message is saying, Ask yourself if this energy feels familiar to your situation. We can go a little deeper. Hey, what's going on, love? Can you talk about money? I'm actually talking about relationship issues right now. If someone does regret losing you. But if you have a question, let me know. Thank you all for being here. So we can go ahead and look a little deeper. Hey, universe guidance for Dion. Hey, love, how are you? Well, thank you guys so much for being here. We can go ahead and, since we are live, you want some guidance? Well, I ask you kindly, please subscribe. I do appreciate you guys. I'm on live daily. Thank you. I want to give everyone the best guidance possible. So let's give you a little bit of guidance on Dia. Thank you. Oh, so. Well, thank you all. You're good. Awesome. Well, thank you so much for being here. Blocked. All right. Well, let's go ahead and give you some guidance, love. Let's see what the universe wants to tell you today. Thank you so much for your time. All right. So guidance for Dia. All right. Let's see what messages are going to come through for you, beautiful. Okay. When it has to do with emotions, love, I feel like there's someone you're thinking about very much, and someone who you may be having issues with, and it's affecting you in an emotional way. Let me know if this sounds like you. Adriana, hello, hugs. Thank you so much. Hi, Adriana. How are you? Thank you for being here. So, Dia, I feel like this person either is someone who could be someone recent, someone from the past, someone who may be a bit cold, not necessarily showing a lot of feelings. If this sounds like you, yes, ma'am, right? Okay. Well, love, if you feel affected by this person, because I feel it's affecting you a lot emotionally, my dear, you have to think of yourself, my love, okay? I feel you need to think of yourself. I've got here the Ace of Cups and the Ace of Pentacles, along with the Hanged Man. So, think about what you need to do in this connection. If this is something that's still ongoing, how do you really fit into this? Because I feel like some people are not ready to make certain compromises or certain sacrifices for a relationship. For a relationship, if this feels like you, that may very well be happening in your connection. So think about you and yourself and what you feel is best for you at this time. Okay? That's what the energy is saying. Thank you for letting me do this read for you. Please consider subscribing. Thank you. So what the live is about right now is actually about if someone regrets losing you. So thank you all. Just come right in. If you have a question, please, by all means, I'll be happy to help. But as we go along, if I don't have any comments or anything, I'll just continue on with our title. So, does someone regret losing you? You said, of course, you're very welcome. Said, thank you for your guidance. Definitely, you claimed this message. Well, thank you, lovely. Thank you for being here. I'm happy that this message helped you in some way. And please come again, love. I'm on here daily. Thank you. So, my dears, we'll continue on. We're going to look a little deeper since we got the Ace of Swords. Someone thinking about what happened in the relationship. If they are feeling regret, what exactly are they regretting? So let's see. Is it losing your love? Is it losing your friendship or the emotional support maybe you gave them? Does that sound like you? Are they regretting a decision they made during the relationship? Let's pull another card for this. What are they regretting? I feel that they're regretting not giving you enough of their time. So for what I see here, not giving you enough of their time. Like they did not prioritize the relationship they had with you. You know, life happens, right? When we're in a relationship, we have obligations in other places, work, family, friends. But spending quality time with the person you love or in a relationship is important, because if not, we feel left out. We feel like, okay, you're not making time for me. As much as I would like to spend time with you and I'm trying to make it work, you're not. Does this sound familiar? You know? One thing I've learned that regret often teaches us lessons. There you go. Sometimes those lessons lead back to people, like they want to heal, so it can lead you back to something deeper. Sometimes it just seems, that like simply just we need to grow. I'm tongue twisted. We need to grow. Okay, and that's what regret often leads people to do, right? I regret what happened. healing, growing, understanding, learning from that regret, right? So it doesn't happen again. Overall, this is what I feel they regret. Not prioritizing the relationship, not giving you their time, or maybe possibly not making a full on commitment towards the relationship, right? Because growing together, making, planning things together, not just because the Three of Pentacles is a card of planning things, but it's a card of growth, creating something very strong and stable for future growth. Do you know? Let's start now. Let's start creating that strong foundation so we can both grow in the relationship together, so we can be there for one another and have that mutual honesty, respect, and loyalty, you know, that security for long time commitment. So that is their regret. Now, let's look at something many people don't think about. Okay? If they're you know, if the person is regretting what happened, why haven't they done anything about it? Right? What's stopping them? Could it be pride, fear, rejection? What is stopping them from making it right? Let's see. What is stopping them? The Wheel of Fortune, right? Do they believe you moved on? Perhaps they simply don't know where to begin. Well, it's interesting because sometimes the biggest obstacle isn't like they don't have feelings, but it's the fear of facing consequences of past choices. So let's explore what the card is saying, right? A lot of times that what's stopping them, they feel like they can't make it better. A lot of people just don't know how to. You know, they realize what's happened. We've already seen the cards, the progression. They realize what's happened. They know that they didn't prioritize. If it's something you constantly or repeatedly, told them, yeah, it's, obvious to them. But a lot of times people just, hey, this is life. This is what I do. This is who I am. And, they come with excuses. And a lot of times they just feel like maybe you were unreasonable in the relationship. So that can very well happen. But they don't know how to make things better because of what, prioritizing. They've got other obligations. They had to do other things, or maybe they were just busy with friends. This is part of their lifestyle. So being part of their lifestyle, where do you fit into that lifestyle if you're supposed to have a loving, deep relationship, like the Three of Pentacles was mentioning? So that's a big issue there, loves, Like, well, this is who I am. Can you accept who I am as well? Right? So let's go ahead and continue on. Not making it right. They don't know how to make it right because they feel like a lot of times people feel that even though you're putting on the responsibility on, you're putting the responsibility on them, that, it takes two people to make this work. Like the Three of Pentacles is also a card of teamwork. It takes two people to make a relationship work, not just putting all the responsibility on someone to say, hey, you need to fix this, you need to fix that. So they possibly also say, well, if we're to make progress here, if there's supposed to be any movement forward, I feel like we both need to work at it together. Understand my situation and understand where I'm coming from as well. So a lot of times we don't understand the person that we're with. So this is what they may want you to know. Let's see what's going on with what they may want you to know. Okay, because if they could sit down with you today and speak honestly without fear, without pride, or even without worrying about the outcome, what do they want you to know? Let's see what they want you to know. If they were to sit down with you right now in front, how worried they've been, how deep down inside this person has had feelings for you, and overall the sorrow that they're going through, the hey, I hurt you type of energy. I'm sorry I hurt you. I feel bad. I did not want to lose what we had. So there's a lot of sorrow here, regrets, feelings of things could have been better. I feel bad for everything that happened. So this is something that I feel strongly that they would want to tell you honestly, you know, like leaving everything aside, pride, any fears, anything. Hey, this is me. I'm not doing well without you, basically. That's the energy coming through very strong. I'm not doing well without you. So this seems, like this message is a card that speaks about apology, It speaks about gratitude at the same time, and it feels like it's like they've been hiding these things from you for a long time because some people just don't know how to communicate. So that's very, very difficult for some, for a lot of people to communicate. So let's go ahead and see our final card, and let's look at the energy surrounding this connection moving forward. This isn't about making promises or predicting a fixed future, but it's about understanding the energy as it exists today. So any energy does change, right? We make choices. There's healing, forgiveness, personal growth. A lot of things can shift the direction of a connection. But let's see what the final card has to say. Let's see what the energy is saying right now. Look at that. Regret. There you go, my loves. The last card is actually talking about regret. I regret what happened. I regret so many things. Again, sorrow, feeling bad, that remorse. I could have done better, or if only we could have understood each other better. If only I could have opened up more, or if only you could have opened up more, or right, all these questions and scenarios that go through our mind when we're not with someone, and sometimes we feel it's too late. So the Five of Cups is a strong emotional card, that Pluto energy, or that Scorpion energy, Scorpio right there, that deep transformational type of energy saying, I would like to make it better. I regret what happened. How can we move past this? How can we let go of the past and maybe try again? Because that's regret right there, loves. The cards are speaking very strongly. As we come to the end of this collective reading, I hope that these messages have given you something to reflect on. So whether the cards brought you some sort of comfort, clarity, or simply a new perspective, remember that your own path is always in your hands. Thank you, my dears. If this reading did resonate with you, I'd love to hear from you in the chat, in the comments. If you're watching the replay, let me know what stood out to you. Maybe what card spoke out to you, what spoke to your heart. Thank you so much for spending this time with me, lovelies. If you enjoyed today's reading, please like the live, subscribe to my channel, and share it possibly with someone who may need this message. Thank you all for being here. And if you need any info, always check out the description. Thank you all, and many blessings. Thank you again for being here.